gotta say, the new map Rockefeller, I've been having a pretty good time playing that map. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and we are back on XDefiant. It's been a very long time since I last did a video on XDefiant, but at the same time I have been playing a lot of this game in my spare time, so I'm definitely now familiar with how this game plays. Thankfully, Rockefeller came up as one of the two choices. One of the things that I noticed from playing the Rockefeller playlist was that when you're still like in the matchmaking part of the game, when you are given the choice to decide which game mode you want to vote for, like let's say for example you had the choices of either Occupy or Hot Shot on the Rockefeller playlist. What will happen is if the choice of Occupy on Rockefeller, if it gets the most votes, the Hot Shot game mode that gets the least amount of votes will end up getting picked instead, which I thought was really freaking weird because it's like, why the hell would this game mode that got little to no votes be chosen over the other game mode that got the most amount of votes? I'll show you guys the footage so you know what I'm talking about. But that's the bug that I've noticed when joining the Rockefeller playlist. Apparently if you choose a specific game mode and that one gets the most votes, the one that got no votes ends up getting picked instead. Despite that little bug within the Rockefeller playlist, this map is actually pretty fun to play on, especially when you're playing Hot Shot. Oh my god, dude, I was playing a good amount of that not too long ago. It was so freaking fun. I really had a good time playing it. So I ended up reading an article in regards to XDefiant and what the future holds for this game, and I really don't want to say it, but the future doesn't seem like it's looking all that exciting. So this article comes to us from Insider Gaming, more specifically from Tom Henderson, which for those who do not know, Tom Henderson has been a reputable source within the gaming industry. He's been reporting on some of the things that are going on with certain video games, and in this case, he ended up doing so with XDefiant, and as we could see right here, XDefiant is on borrowed time as player numbers decline rapidly. According to several sources at Ubisoft, Ubisoft San Francisco has until the end of Season 3 of XDefiant to improve the game's bleak player numbers. XDefiant was all the buzz when it launched in May of 2024. The game exceeded 1 million unique players in its first 2.5 hours, a Ubisoft record, and exceeded over 8 million players in its first week. Executives were thrilled at the title's future and even reported in the company's latest press release that XDefiant revenue contributed to its Q1 2025 financial success. But now, just 6 weeks from its Q1 financial report, Ubisoft HQ wants player numbers to increase by Season 3, or XDefiant risks losing its much-needed post-launch support. One source told me that the game has been struggling to obtain 20,000 concurrent players across all its platforms, whereas another said they would probably be happy with that number, suggesting that it's now much lower. The declining numbers have created tension and anxiety within the team, with sources who spoke to me believing that more layoffs are only a matter of time. Frustrations within the studio are aimed at the leadership who have refused to take responsibility for the project's shortcomings, which could have been avoided with a better studio culture. In late March of 2024, I reported on the studio's toxic work culture, and despite an internal investigation that concluded last month, I was told that the issues have been swept under the rug and that its problems were still prevalent. For XDefiant's future, leadership is betting all their money on Season 3 to turn things around. But with Call of Duty Black Ops 6 set to release between Season 2 and Season 3, those I spoke to are feeling pessimistic about the game's future. One source even went as far as to say, quote unquote, expect more Ubisoft San Fran layoff headlines within 6 months. If you guys want to go and check out the rest of this article, I'll provide a link to it down in the description so you guys can go and read it for yourselves. When I first read that article, I was very heartbroken when I heard the news, because it's like, think about it. We are still in season 1 of XDefiant. Like, this game still has yet to even peak as far as like its content distribution, its quality of life updates, and so forth. And the fact that the game's future is at stake because the player counts have been dropping significantly, and it seems like there just isn't much communication from the developers. And on top of that, there seems like there isn't that high of a rollout in terms of content and patches. Dude, this is honestly crazy to see. Because I will admit, like, this game is not a perfect title by any means. Like, there's still some kinks that Ubisoft San Fran has to work out. There's still some nooks and crannies that they have to look into to try to like rearrange in order for this game to really flourish as much as the players want it to. Like, I will admit that, but the fact that this is where we're at as far as XDefiant is, even though we're still well into season 1 of this game, I mean, it just hurts. Like, it really does. It really sucks to see, because this game is still very fun. Yes, the amount of content that it offers, it's not enough to keep players engaged in the long term, but I think with what you're able to do in this game in comparison to the likes of Call of Duty, XDefiant definitely succeeds in areas that Call of Duty has failed to for a very long time. The biggest positive that I could think of in regards to XDefiant is the fact that there's no skill-based matchmaking in this game, especially when you take into account that we had to deal with skill-based matchmaking be so freaking strong in Call of Duty over the last several years, and it's pretty much not the case when playing XDefiant. So you would think that because of that, it would encourage people to come and play this title, but sadly, even with skill-based matchmaking not being a thing on this game, it still isn't enough for players to want to come back and play this game, and it sucks. Hell, we know that Black Ops 6 is definitely going to have skill-based matchmaking, especially to the degree that we've had to deal with from the last few Call of Duty titles. But even then, people still want to endure that rather than playing a casual first-person shooter like XDefiant. I will admit, this game does not offer as much content as players would like it to. Like, for example, the camo grind in this game, while it's very easy and straightforward, and while the devs have gone out of their way to try to make some tweaks to try to make the camo grind a bit more easier for players, at the same time, I can understand that that's simply just not enough to keep players from wanting to go and play something else. I will also admit, I haven't heard too much about when we're going to get a prestige mode in this game, when we're going to get a kill cam, anything of that matter. I haven't really heard much as to when we can expect these features to arrive in XDefiant. For me personally, I think the reason why XDefiant is struggling as much as it has been so far is because if you think about it, in the current gaming market, there's so many 6v6 shooters to play that at this point it's just become so oversaturated that it's like, alright, well, we got another one. What else is new? But I will admit, it is very unfortunate to know that XDefiant is not flourishing as much as it should be, especially since it's gotten to a point where Ubisoft is definitely considering on pulling any post-launch support for this game because the player counts have been declining significantly. But I will also admit that while XDefiant is a very fun first-person shooter to indulge in, at the same time, this game doesn't offer much to make itself stand out from every other shooter that we have gotten so far, to where it would encourage players to want to come and play this game over something like Concord or Call of Duty or Overwatch. This is just my 2 cents, but I really thought that no skill-based matchmaking would be enough for players to want to come back to this game and enjoy it more over Call of Duty. But it seems like players want to keep punishing themselves in Call of Duty by playing against people who are way better than them, rather than just playing a first-person shooter in which they're actually able to kick back and not worry so much about having to try hard. But hey, that's just my personal take. I really hope Ubisoft San Francisco finds a way to what the hell? I really hope Ubisoft San Francisco finds a way to turn things around, because I genuinely think that XDefiant still has lots and lots of potential for it to succeed to the degree that not only Ubisoft wants it to, but also the fans would like it to as well. I don't know, man. This is just my 2 cents. I really hope that XDefiant is able to get back on track and that Ubisoft San Francisco are able to turn things around for players to want to come back to this game and continue playing it more and more, because it's still fun. It still is a very fun game to play, but only time will tell. But I want to know from you guys, what do you make of the news regarding XDefiant being on borrowed time due to the player counts declining significantly on all platforms? Are you surprised by this, or are you not surprised? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to know what you guys have to say. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, you're more than welcome to drop a like on it. And if you enjoyed this type of content, you're more than welcome to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. If you happen to be watching this on my Rumble channel, you're more than welcome to do the same, as clicking that follow button and that bell would be very much appreciated. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy Discreet, and I'll catch you in the next video.